Hello everyone, Ember here, and welcome back to a new video. In this one, I'm going to be taking a look at a Hydreigon rogue deck profile from the set Surging Sparks. Now, honestly, I just want to give my first impressions with this deck before talking through the list, and in all honesty, I think this card is an awful lot of fun. It's certainly a breath of fresh air from a lot of the other duds in the set. Looking at you, Alolan Executor. But yeah, certainly a much better card than them. Definitely better than Flygon, although I haven't played a single game with Flygon yet. By the way, I'm just generalizing because I'm not looking forward to playing Flygon, basically. I don't think that card is very good at all. But yeah, Hydreigon EX, ladies and gentlemen, pretty solid. So 330 HP Dark-type Pokemon, has 2 attacks, Crashing Headbutt and Obsidian. Crashing Headbutt for Dark Colors does 200 damage, and you get to discard the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. So just a very efficient attack, very disruptive. Like milling 3 seems a bit weak, right? But if you do this twice, it's milling 6. You do it 3 times, you're milling 9 cards. You can see how it stacks up quite quickly. Then we have Obsidian, which for a Psychic, Dark, Metal, Colorless, which is very expensive, but we'll talk about, how you can pay for this attack cost. Does 130 damage, but it also does 130 damage to 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. And you'd be surprised the amount of players on the ladder who just don't run Manaphy or don't find Manaphy out of their deck and bench it for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about it, but yeah, for some reason players don't like Manaphy, so Obsidian just has a field day, really. And idealistically, what you want to try and do is Crashing Headbutt into, say, an EX, which you can then soften up with, the 200 damage, and then just follow up with an Obsidian the following turn. And basically KO that EX as well as 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. That's like the ideal turn, and will get you about 4 prize cards, which is nice. Of course, you can try and set up crazy plays where you boss after using Crushing Headbutt, and you try and take out multiple Pokemon at once with Obsidian, like multiple EX Pokemon, but that's kind of like a crazier, big brain kind of play that I'm not really capable of, to be frank. I like Kofagriga spread, I love spread decks, but this is like big brain territory just because of the weird energy attack cost. And, it's bad enough we have to rely on like Dark Patch and Neo upper energy, but, thankfully stage 2s have, well, honestly, I would say this about stage 2s. They are more consistent now, I feel like, than they've ever been in the TCG. And that's largely thanks to like the absurd amount of support that we have right now. Like Fezandipiti, for example, silly broken card. Once in your turn, if any of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, you may draw 3 cards. Broken. We also got Rotom V, which can just draw 3 cards, but it ends your turn. So, it's a good card for the very first turn of the game, of course, but the main reason why you run Rotom V and Lumineon V in the first place is the Forest Seal Stone tool card. So, if you don't know what this thing does, basically it's a V-Star power that you can attach to a Pokemon V and give it a V-Star power. So it has the ability Star Alchemy, which says once in your turn, you may just search your deck for any card that you want. So yeah, it's kind of broken. Also got this Pidgeot, which just allows you to search your deck for any card that you want. Also has free retreat. So you can kind of see why you can, at least make Obsidian and Crushing Headbutt quite consistent. All that aside, it's still not a turbo deck by any means. You will have to rely on Counter Catcher sometimes. And I'm also playing Mimikyu in this deck because the deck might have access to all this consistency, but it is still a stage 2 deck at the end of the day. There is stuff out there like Raging Bolt, for example, which will run through you like a hot knife through butter, so you do have to kind of be careful in that sense, and running things like Mimikyu kind of just helps with that, really. So, it's nice. At the very least, it will delay your opponent and force them to attack with a single prize Pokemon, which is good. So, either that or they have to find a boss, so, cool beans. So it has the ability Safeguard to prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by your opponent's EX and V, which is nice. Ghost Eye can be used because you play Counter Gain and Psychic Energy in this deck, but 7 damage counters, it's whatever, really. Like, you could, if you really wanted to, hit something with Crashing Headbutt or even Obsidian and then finish them off with Mimikyu if you really wanted to and try and disrupt them that way, but it's a wee bit awkward, really, to pull off, and not something I've had to do yet, to be honest. Also got this Pecharunt EX in here because it has the ability Subjugating Chains. It says once in your turn, you may switch one of your bench star Pokemon except any Pecharunt EX with your active Pokemon. If you do, your new active Pokemon is now poisoned. This is basically just to get out Snorlax Stall. If you don't feel you run into enough Snorlax Stall, then, obviously just remove Pecharunt. But however, you can use its attack, Irritated Outburst, for 2 Dark Energy, so just 1 mana attachment plus a Dark Patch. Does 60 damage for each prize card your opponent's taken. So if you really want a massive comeback Hail Mary move, then Irritated Outburst can help you out in a pinch, but I've never had to use it, so, make of that what you will. Also, you could attack with Fezandipiti if you really want to, but that's also extremely awkward and not advised. So, yeah, you need manual Dark Patch plus Counter Gain. So, onto the trainers very quickly. Very straightforward, actually, just mostly consistency stuff. Got stuff like Counter Gain in here just to make it a bit more easier to attack. Got Earthen Vessel to discard something from our hand and find 2 energy, and we play a lot of different basic energy, so it makes sense. Even got a Crispin in here, which, like, in case you couldn't tell already, this was actually a list from Japan, by the way. This wasn't my own homebrew madness. So yeah, I might actually remove the Crispin and swap it out for something different, but I've not had to use it at all, ever. So, it's a bit of a weird card. I do like the inclusion of Roxanne. I do think Roxanne's a pretty good card, but Crispin's just one of those things where I could see myself removing it for a second boss's orders. Also, Leak HQ has been really useful in games. Attacks used by each basic Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponent's, cost 1 colorless more. Just kind of forces Ancient Box players, especially Ancient Box, but like Raging Ball, any other basic deck really, to have an extra. Well, wait a minute. Raging Ball is Ancient Box. Okay, that was a terrible example. Scratch that. But yeah, any basic deck has to pay 1 extra energy to attack with, basically. That's like the main thing with that. So yeah, pretty cool. Playing 4 Rare Candy because I feel you have to with this list. Also playing 5 basic Dark Energy, 1 basic Metal, 1 basic Psychic, because realistically you're only ever going to do Obsidian like once or twice a game, or set up 1 or 2 Hydreigons to use it. And you also play Neo Upper Energy, has to be like the A-spec of choice with this deck. So yeah, very, very powerful. 2 event energy when it's on a stage 2. So what you can go for basically is just like Dark Energy on a Hydreigon at the very least to do Crashing Headbutt, then either Psychic or Metal, and then attach a Neo Upper, and then you can start using Obsidian. So yeah, that's the plan at least. It does take a bit to get going, I think. This is definitely a deck where you either have like a 60-70% chance to get going in the early game, and if you don't get going, you're probably never going to get into the game. You're going to really struggle to find your footing. Like, even if you come back with an Obsidian, which, it can happen, you can Obsidian mid to late game, and that swings the game right back in your favor because it is multiple prize cards at the end of the day. But, it does take a lot to get going. And you are weakness to grass, so that very high HP is just worth nothing against grass decks, RIP. So, yeah, watch out for those Ogerpon Hydrapple players, like all 5 of them on the ladder. But yeah. Anyway, this has been Hydreigon. Do let me know what you think of this deck down below. I've not been selling it very well at all, I've realized, but it's honestly been a blast to play. It's a lot of fun. So, let me know what you think of this deck down below. And yeah, thank you for watching. I mean, I don't think this is a particularly good matchup for us. Does look like they're about to get a KO on our Mimikyu, unfortunately. They do have Explorer's Guidance as well. I think that's the 3rd copy. Okay, fair enough. So already this guy is already doing quite a lot of damage. So what they really need to do now is just find more Pokemon, really. So you have Raining Greninja, which is fine. And yeah, it is a bit of a shame, but unfortunately, I won't be able to do like much against this deck, really. I think they will just kind of outpace us a bit. And us actually doing the mill thing is, good for them, actually, funnily enough. So, yeah, it is a wee bit annoying. Okay, that's actually a pretty good top deck. So what I can do here is Arvin for, I guess, the Rare Candy Forest Seal Stone combo. I could also... Yeah, no, it's fine. We'll do this. Yeah, we'll just go for this. So we'll do Forest Seal Stone here. We will Rare Candy the active Deino. I suppose I could have gone for Obsidian Fangs. Yeah, I could have gone for Obsidian this turn, really, if I wanted to. And that would have, like, given us a decent position, but I'm kind of okay with just doing this. So we'll bench that. And not bench that, rather. Play that. Nest Ball for Pidgey. Get me a Pidgey. Although, maybe, yeah. I could have just gone for the counter gain play, really. That might have been the optimal turn for us, but I think this will be okay. Ideally, we don't want to discard, like, any ancient stuff for them, really. We just want to discard what's important. So, okay, that's important. So, Boss's Orders, Dark Patch, good stuffs. So we get another prize here. Okay, that's also quite nice. So what we are really looking for is kind of like a way to take a few prizes at once. But unfortunately, this thing has 140 HP. So we won't actually be able to get a KO. If we can just, you know, obviously KO this, and then KO something else, that would be great. But we'll just have to see how it goes, really. We've also, like, stopped them from using Counter Catcher, which is quite nice. Slows them down a wee bit. But they have Secret Box, which allows them to do stuff. I've never seen this card before in my life. Well, yes, I have. Wait, what does this thing do? Search your deck for an item card, a tool, and a supporter, and a stadium. Okay, that's pretty good. So they can find another Nest Ball for a Pokemon. They can also get a Sada this turn, which is pretty good. I don't think they'll need another stadium, necessarily. Yeah, so they're just going to thin out and get Pokestop. We do have to remember they have Boss. That's kind of important. So they will probably look to boss around us. So yeah, that's fine. Unfortunately, I don't play Vacuum, so RIP. Okay, interesting. This just makes me kind of want to do Obsidian, though, to be honest. Super Rod, fair enough. Yeah, I think I might just try and do Obsidian. Although I can't really, can I? No, I can't. Never mind. Oh well, never mind. That's a Metal Energy, which is cool. But yeah, can't use... Bronze active Pokemon have no abilities. Pretty sure I can't use Star Alchemy. It'd be really funny if this was... Yeah. It'd be really funny if I tried it and it didn't work. But yeah, we can at least Arven for a Rare Candy and such. So that's fine. So we can get ourselves a Rare Candy. And I don't think we need this, but we may as well. So Rare Candy up here. Your opponent's active your opponent's active Pokemon has no abilities. Oh, okay. Okay, that changes things. I thought that was a bit suspicious. I was like, wait, why does this ability lock me? And I was like, wait, no, it doesn't. It doesn't ability lock. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so that's quite nice. So we do have all our stuff to work with. Also, we have the stadiums as well. That's pretty cool. So I'll get Neo Upper Energy. Okay, that was definitely a bit of a blunder on my part. My bad. And I'll get... Yeah. We'll put Neo Up Energy on here. I think I will quick search. I could get a Leak HQ, but I kind of just want to... Yeah, actually, I'll get a Leak HQ so they can't... Well, they have to bump the stadium at that point. Although, wait, no, they have their own stadium, so that's not like a concern. I've got a feeling they can just, like, Yeah, they can boss anyway, so I don't think it matters too much. Well, they can bump our stadium and then boss, so I don't think there's much of a point involving that one yet. So what I will do is Obsidian. And we'll remove these two guys. Which is quite nice. What's it doing? What's the game doing? 130 to there, please. So we can enjoy a 3-prize turn. They do have access to Counter Catcher, though, which is a bit of a shame. But at least we get 3 prizes, so cool beans. My opponent concedes. Fair enough. Fair dues. Nearly made the biggest blunder in the world, but hey, pays off. I'm not complaining. Not complaining at all.